Hi everyone, welcome back to Piet and Grada from the Purple House. Today I want to talk about the UVB, we call it, the Ultimate Vitality Boost, which enables you to have lots of energy, clarity and feel good in yourself. So as you know, in today's world, many people suffer from Alzheimer's, don't they, Pete? How many do you reckon?
About 30% of elderly people suffer from Alzheimer's, dementia.
Which is shocking, right? And when we talk about elderly people, we talk about people 60 and up, right? So when you're 60 years old, you have many good years left in your body.
Is it a 1 in 3 chance of losing your marbles?
So there are other statistics that also prove that the most productive, happy, fulfilling years of your life are between age 60 and 70, and the second most productive stint is between 70 and 80, and the third most productive, happy, fulfilling part of your life is between 50 and 60, right? So the latter parts of your life potentially are the best years of your life, which is not what you're told by the average marketing guru out there, right? It's not what people believe, but it's what Pete and I believe. So we always encourage you to go upstream, like to go against the currents that want to take you downstream and into an early grave. So there are many reasons why people are getting more and more Alzheimer, younger and younger, by the way. And but we just want to talk about the solution. And the solution is like 4 supplements that we put together in a package called the Ultimate Vitality Boost, which contains beet flow, which helps your liver to detox. Sorry, I'm getting a tickle. A really powerful enzyme called Omnizyme, a really great top shelf probiotic. And Pete will explain why we put this together, and then iodine as well. We'll try to keep it really short, and I'll put the article in here so you can read it with a cup of tea. So the reason why this topic is really close to my heart is because Alzheimer runs in my father's family. So my grandmother, had Alzheimer, and his sisters did as well. And you know, people believe that it can be in your genes. I don't know if that's true, but we do know that you can turn your genes off and on. We don't have to activate our genes. And on top of that, I suffered from post-traumatic stress and severe panic disorder in the year 2008. And I spent 8 weeks in a psychiatric hospital, you know, trying to recover from what had happened to me. And of course, when in the year 2006, which is nearly 20 years ago now, I was a pedestrian and I got struck down by a passing truck, which left me with lots of injuries, closed head injury as well. But the worst one was spinal injuries that left me with a paralyzed bladder and a paralyzed bowel, right? So I had to have a colostomy bag at that time and self-catheterize. And so what happens when people have like parts of their body that are not working properly because they're paralyzed due to nerve damage, you often get infections straight away. So I basically had to start on antibiotics, and in the first year I think I had at least 12 doses of antibiotics, pretty well non-stop.
Probably more,
I'd say. And now we know that 1 dose of antibiotics increases your chances of depression and anxiety by 25%. And if you have 2 doses of antibiotics, your chances go up like to 50%, let alone 12 doses of antibiotics. It totally broke my mind, literally.
Plus it takes the body about 5 years to get over 1 lot of antibiotics. And so
so I hobbled along like pretty much with a broken body and a broken mind and all that, still functioning as a mom and in the business and all the rest till the year 2008. So that was 2 years after the accident. By then I probably had 20 lots of antibiotics. By then, by the way, some of my spinal injuries had miraculously recovered, which is unheard of. So I was able to go to the toilet again by myself, naturally speaking. but the antibiotics had done the damage, right? And so I was in a psychiatric hospital trying to recover from panic attacks, and I wasn't taking proper probiotics or anything. I was just eating mainstream food like the hospital food, which, by the way, I'm grateful for hospitals and all the rest. But of course it contained a lot of carbohydrates, lots of gluten, and when you have panic disorder and depression, gluten are also almost fatal for your brain, right? Because they really can put a lot of dark thoughts into your brain. And so it wasn't until Pete and I got well enough to travel overseas, where we studied the hardcore science of cellular health, right? Because Pete and I knew, well, there's something not right with my cells, and nobody that we knew of in Australia was able to help me. And so we flew to America.
Chicago.
Yeah, and we trained as biomedics practitioners, and we studied the individual cell health to determine what was going on in my body. And then, of course, Peter's body as well, because Pete has a history of severe food allergies, right? It's all in this book, by the way. So we wrote a little booklet that's free for you. Please download it. It's an ebook, so that you can educate yourself. So we feel that the Ultimate Vitality book package kind of covers the 4 pillars of your health. So, and it helps most of our clients to recover to a large extent, even without individual treatments. Like, lots of people don't have time to come in, or they don't have money for treatments or consultations. They can start on the Ultimate Vitality Boost and rebuild their health like I did. I mean, I'm super good for my age now. I'm much better than a lot of women my age, thanks to our lifestyle and the supplements that Pete and I take, right? So Pete, what is Foundation all about? And thanks to Peter, are you sitting there waiting for a compliment or something? Thanks to Peter's support, right? He does always pick up the pieces after me, and vice versa.
The digestive system, or the gut, is the biggest organ in the body. It covers about 2,000 square metres, size of a tennis court, and the bowel, small and large bowel, are about 6 metres long. So, and our stomach is full of hydrochloric acid, which kills all the bacteria that's on the food.
All the harmful ones, eh?
Well, it'll kill every bacteria. Mm-hmm. So to get good bacteria into your small intestine where they need to be, you need a capsule that withstands the stomach acid, or spore probiotics that withstand stomach acid. And those two, the ones we get from NutriSpec, they have a capsule that withstands the stomach acid, and we also stock two different types of spore probiotics, and they heal and seal the gut 50% better than any other probiotic that's been proven. Mm-hmm. And the liver delivers the bile to neutralise the stomach acid contents as they enter the small bowel. So if they remain too acid, then they'll kill off the good gut bacteria that are in the small bowel again. So you need a good functioning liver and gallbladder system to deliver that bile to neutralise the stomach acid. And when the gallbladder gives a good gush of bile, it is a pH of about 9, which is
caustic,
alkaline, and it meets a pH of between 1 and 2. That's what the stomach acid contents are. And it's like pouring vinegar on bicarbs of soda, if you've ever done that. And it blows the food to smithereens, completes the digestive process, breaking the food down to the smallest possible particles, so the body can take the nutrients that it needs. Mm-hmm. But most importantly, the good bacteria stay alive. And the the intestines or our gut is so it's been said that it's our second brain, but I would throw it in there that it's probably our first brain.
Yeah, because
90% of all the communication in the body comes from the gut to the brain upwards.
Not
so
downwards.
That's where it starts. So, and it's due to all those good bacteria. So replenishing those on a daily basis is essential for excellent health. And
it's essential for like clarity, for good mood, for bringing out the best.
We produce 90% of our happy hormones in our small intestine, full of good intestinal bacteria. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I think lots of mainstream medicine or doctors and GPs realize the enormous importance of a healthy microbiome now, right, don't they, compared to say 20 years ago when I spent some time in a psychiatric hospital and I was looked after really, really well, but of course the root causes weren't addressed, right?
But there are probiotics and probiotics. Initially when we first started to hear about probiotics, they were mainly Lactobacillus acidophilus. Yeah. And they overcrowd the other good ones in the gut. So
because they're only meant to be for like kids up to 2 years.
Yeah, up to 2 years of age, they're good, but after that they crowd out all the other good bacteria that we need for our health.
Exactly. So what I wanted to say as well is, if I could wind the clock back, like go back, whatever, 60 years, I would give the UVB, the Ultimate Vitality Boost, to my grandmother when she started to develop Alzheimer, and then my aunties later on as well, all of them, and some of their cousins, because now I realized it was all to do with like bad gut bacteria, right? And then also, of course, they had too much sugar. Yeah. Because when we were young in Holland, they have these like sugar cubes, they're called sugar cubes, that they used to put in all their drinks, right? So, of course, Alzheimer is also created by candida in the body, which is a yeast overgrowth, and yeast thrives on sugar. So again...
Plus the brain is 70% fat, so it takes 25% of our energy. So having a good, nice, even energy source all day long is essential for good mental health, and that comes from fats rather than sugar. So
we're talking about healthy fats.
Healthy fats like animal fats, buttercream, coconut oil, and animal fats, and then the only runny oil that I really recommend people to have nowadays is macadamia nut oil, because it's the high content of linoleic acid, which is omega-6 in plant seed-based oils, that is causing most chronic disease in our society. Yeah. So steer clear of all the runny oils except for macadamia nut oil, little bit of olive oil, and a little bit of avocado. But if you want the oils out of those, eat the food that's got it in it. Don't have the oils.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you need more oils anyway than you can often eat out of the foods. Like you can't eat a wheelbarrow of avocados, really.
No, you need a wheelbarrow of avocados to get a good amount of oil from. Yeah.
So that's like super important. Then we also, of course, recommend fermented foods, like a portion of fermented food every day along with good probiotics, right? Because we live in such a toxic world now. So that is like set you back straight away, because we have heavy metals in our drinking water, in the air we breathe, and like in the food. Even if you buy organic, you don't know for sure if it's organic. It probably has antibiotics in it anyway, and like glyphosate and all the rest.
No, so the waterways are full of toxins that are put on in irrigation to the things that are grown so we can eat. So some people even believe that our tap water is also like used as a bioweapon, which is probably true, because they put fluoride in it, and we all know that everyone these days knows how toxic fluoride is. That's why we recommend iodine, which we won't talk much about, but it comes in the Ultimate Vitality Boost. So to protect yourself today, you do have to
take a range of really, really good supplements. And that's what Pete and I have been doing for years now, since 2009, which is 15 years, well and truly, right? On top of that, we have like a nice, pretty healthy diet. We're not, I wouldn't say we're extreme, but we do make sure we have good fats and all the rest. But we, at the same time, we go out for tea and we enjoy nice meals with our kids. And, you know, some meals, of course, are cooked in the wrong oils and all the rest. And we can somehow bounce back from that. Because the enzymes, they help your body get rid of toxins and all the rest. That are unintentional.
Plus the bacteria do as well. Scientists are still finding out what those good intestinal bacteria are doing for us.
So like when we talk about fermented food, Pete and I like to eat sauerkraut or kimchi from the Love Your Guts brand, which is a Tasmanian brand that's really, really good. It hasn't been irradiated like many other brands. Also, of course, you can make your own kefir. Milk kefir is great. And apple cider vinegar is also absolutely fantastic if you manage to buy apple cider vinegar with what we call the mother in it. That's also like teeming with good bacteria. So you can make a nice apple cider vinegar and honey drink for your kids or for yourself, or just have like a cap full of apple cider vinegar in a little bit of water and have it with your meals. So everything that's fermented means it's pre-digested. The digesting process has already happened outside of your body, and you ingest it now, and then it's like teeming with all the good stuff that can completely rebuild your body.
When people come to see me, I write out a little recipe for them so they can try fermenting their fruit, because fruit sugar is not a good one for humans either. So, no. But if you allow the bacteria to consume the sugar before you eat the fruit, then you've got a good probiotic food.
Yeah.
And without the sugar.
Yeah, that's right. And for your mental health, so basically I started off this podcast talking about mental health, right? So we're not just talking about Alzheimer, but Alzheimer, of course, is the scariest one, right? But we're also talking about like just general memory loss, that your memory is playing up a bit. Brain fog, so many people suffer from brain fog, like, and it means literally, it says it like it's misty in there. So, you know, when you want to retrieve the information, you can't. So people that use the Ultimate Vitality Boost, they honestly, within a week, their brain fog is gone, and they start to feel so much better overall, like immediately.
We've had some clients come back and say to us that people are asking them, what are you doing? Because they look so well and full of energy, and they've been utilising the UVB, the Ultimate Vitality Boost Pack, with with good food and lots of good fats, getting their energy mainly from fats rather than sugars.
Yeah. So Peter already explained that the gut, if you were to iron it out, like you get your iron out and you spread it out and you iron out all the wrinkles, it's the size of a tennis court. So that is the size, how much absorption potential your body has, right? So whatever you eat, the small intestine will either absorb it or reject it, so it ends up in the toilet. But these days there's so many foods that are like alien to your body. The body doesn't know what to do with it. It does end up in your bloodstream, and it does affect your brain. So you have to be really, really careful. Take good care of yourself. So the microbiome is probably the most important system in your body, right? And people didn't even have a term for the microbiome, like it wasn't called a name till the year 2005, which is now 20 years, right? But imagine if you chopped your liver out, or your spleen, or you just ripped your kidneys out and chucked them away. You wouldn't expect to live properly, would you? You would expect to feel very, very sick, of course. But here we are just killing off our microbiome and chucking it on the tip by using antibiotics and other stuff. And I'm not saying I am happy about antibiotics, because they saved my life and many people's lives. Yeah. But it's not the end of the story. Antibiotics don't give you health. They can stop you from dying at different times, right? They've saved many lives, but they don't give you health. So they hold you in a yucky holding place where you're not feeling great, you're not dying, but you're not really living either. So that's what we're going on about.
Biotic means life, Anti means against.
Yeah.
Pro
Antibiotic.
means for. So pro-life.
Your immune system is your gut. It's your gut lining, it's your gut, your microbiome, all the good gut bacteria and the bad ones too, by the way. So I'll just be oversharing a bit, but it will all be in the article. I just want to finish by saying this, that if you have 10% bad gut bacteria, which is like normal because we're living in a toxic world, and 90% good gut bacteria, you're fine. But if the scales will start to tip, if you have 11 or 12% bad gut bacteria, suddenly your whole microbiome starts to feel sick, because apparently we have 10% good ones, potentially 10% bad ones, potentially, and we have 80% followers. So the followers, they just follow the leader. So whoever is like stronger, they just shift camps all the time. So this is how come when you go out for a night and maybe you drink too much or whatever you do, and then the next day you might feel terrible for a week or something, because like your whole microbiome has gone out of kilter. Of course, when you drink alcohol, you kill your gut bacteria as well. There are many other, not just antibiotics, right? There's lots of
contraceptive pill does as well.
And then anti-inflammatories and
cortisol
and all that will also. So you're better off just safeguarding yourself. And for the price of a cup of coffee, you can safeguard yourself by getting the Ultimate Vitality Boost that contains 4 things that you take every single day, and then that's rebuilding the foundation of your life, and everything starts to work better again. That's what our wish is for you, that you get healthy and stronger, and just that your best version can come to it's in the behind the steering wheel every day.
So what we studied in Chicago, we now call the full health audit or full health analysis, and that gets to the bottom of a lot of imbalances in your system. So if you want to find out whether you're in or out of balance, come and see me.
Come book him with Peter. So I think he's the only one in Australia who does that kind of testing. So we're very lucky to have him, and you have to allow at least 2 hours. You know, it's very, very in-depth. It's like opening the bonnet of the car. If nobody's looked under the bonnet maybe for 10 or 20 years or 30 years, you know, you're going to find some stuff, aren't you? So that's what Peter does, and it's very detailed, because Pete's got the details brain.
I probably overshare and overwhelm you a bit, but there's a written report at the end of it as well, so you don't need to remember everything.
No. All right, so that is also a really good pathway forward. So let us know what your concerns are, if you find this interesting, or if you have relatives with Alzheimer, or, you know, like loved ones. There is like a return path. There is a road to recovery. That's just what we want you to know, for all kinds of diseases and accidents as well. When you are recovering, apparently your body needs 7 times more the amount of good nutrients than like a person that's already healthy. So that's another thing to consider as well. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Hope you have a really wonderful week, and
enjoy the better spring weather that we're having.
And of course next week the clock will be in summertime, all being well. Okay. Thanks everyone. Bye.